Welcome to Bunhae Wednesdays. In this edition, we're looking at ground fighting, grappling, and the reason being is when I originally trained, we did zero groundwork, and I always taught that if you hit the floor, get up as quick as you can because it's hard to defend yourself on the floor, especially from multiple attackers. But then as time went on, I realized that I should at least experience some ground fighting in case that ever did happen. One of the things that I found very useful with my limited experience with it is that my Tangshiro training actually really helped. So in this edition, we're looking at a form, a very common form, Pyung and how those moves can be interpreted as moves on the ground. So it starts off with your partner in your guard. The situation is you've been taken to the floor and they're throwing shots. You cover up, you guard the shot, and you do the opening move of Pyung, which is the double chop. One is blocking the hand and one is chopping to the neck. Obviously you could do more strikes here, but then the next move in the form is to go to an X block. So that's when you take the wrist of the arm you blocked and then wrap your arm over it in a figure four lock, also known as a kimura, and then as you twist your body, because in the form you'd step out at a 90-degree angle, you then take their arm behind you and tap them out. If that doesn't work and they get out of it, you then go into the next move, which is the two-hand block in back stance, and you wrap around their head and grab onto your bicep and pull back, and this would be known as a guillotine choke or some form of choke, again to put on the move. If they slip their head out, you then grab their arm and turn them over, as in the chain position, before you throw the hammer fist or the side kick. You could throw the hammer fist to the head once you're in that position, but my main goal is to get out of under my opponent. So I use the side kick to kick off and then stand up. For example, if you are in that situation where they're attacking you and you can't turn the hand over, what happens is you slip the hand behind their neck and perform the elbow. And again, I'm throwing one in the video, but again, you could throw multiple elbows to disorientate them. You then slip out the other way and side kick on the other side. So we're trying to show that in the form, it shows you side kick into the left, side kick into the right, two exits using different tools. We're now going to move on to a more dangerous scenario where your opponent is on top of you, full mount, and this is very dangerous. So we're now going to take the move of the form where you do the double high knife hand strike. What I'm going to do is secure one arm in to bring them close to me, and with the other hand come behind their neck. I'm going to control the outside leg as I perform the chop and roll them over so I'm in their full guard. And from there, obviously you can't do a snap kicker on the floor. You're going to use a knee motion to come into a half guard, and this will advance your position, and then I can throw a back fist and then stand up. If I continued with this motion from the back fist and they were still holding on to me and I couldn't pull up and stand away, I could then put on the next move of the form, which is where you turn, put my hands through their dobok and then squeeze and twist in the choking motion. There are also punches there that you could put in, if they were resisting or if the choke wasn't working, and then you could stand up. You can also do this choke from full guard. So again, the form shows you two versions. One is of us in an advantageous position, and the other one is not so advantageous position. And again, the choke works from wherever you are, as long as they're facing you, and you can throw in the punches for dirt to apply it. If you're in the full mount trying to put the choke on and they put an arm out, this is the bit in the form where you've done the choke, the two punches, and you pull back into your two-hand defense in back stance. This is where you strip their arm away, go to the side, so move past them, and put on the block to the side of them. In ground fighting, known as a triangle, and apply the squeeze. And again, I know there's three of them in the form, but as I've covered two of them already, just know that it's a good neck choke from multiple positions. The last move of the form is the knee and the twist. We're showing a couple of different variations of what you can do, but basically you're now, the idea is that the triangle choke didn't work from the side, so you go into a full side control position and you throw a knee into the side, so that explains the knee. What I am doing is I am stepping over, turning them onto their side, and as I twist into my middle knife hand block, I'm then applying another choke and I can stand off and walk away. Luke is going all the way to my back and then using his leg to wrap around my hand and applying the rear naked choke from behind. So this kind of explains in the form that you go from the knee and you turn all the way around to play the choke. Again, you can't turn away from your partner on the floor, so instead of you turning around, you turn them around so they're on their back. So I turned my partner to the side and he turned me all the way to my front, so he's on my back. As you can see, it doesn't cover all ground fighting and there are multiple things that could happen, but I just wanted to make this video to show that I heard a very good thing a couple of years ago where a ground fighter said what works on the floor should work standing. So this just applies the other way. So we practice a lot of these moves standing, and do they work on the ground? So play around with that, let us know what you think, and are there other forms that you think are perfectly designed for groundwork or pure grappling? Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next week. Thanks.